Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. I want to start off today by thanking all the people who provided comments on my Spotify and YouTube channels with regards to the previous podcast where I presented a lot of different video evidence of potential extraterrestrial / non-human intelligent beings, and everybody has their own opinions, and I thought it was really interesting to see all those opinions. And first off, I want to get right to it here. I want to talk about the Compton, California ring camera alien. I have an update on that. For one thing, I want to point out that Scott Roeder, the crime scene reconstruction expert, who is the person who authenticated the Las Vegas alien video from 2023, he has authenticated this video. He has actually contacted Jessica Ortiz, the person who was able to. Who actually posted that ring camera, who's the person who was there, who lives in the house where this incident occurred, and he received a raw video from the ring camera as well as the metadata, and he says that whatever's in that video was really there, because there's no way that it could have been faked or hoaxed. I know there were some people who suggested that it was CGI or something. It's not that. There was something actually there. There's no question about it. What that something is, I guess that's going to be the debate. But I just want to point out that Scott Roeder and I are going to be starting a new podcast, a different podcast, separate from his podcast as well as from my podcast. It's going to be called Absolute Proof with Scott Roeder and Jim Quirk. And that podcast will be launching pretty soon. And the first episode is going to be about this Compton alien. We're going to be talking about that as right now he has one of his associates, Louis Castillo, who also did work on the Las Vegas alien video. He's preparing a 3D model of what we see in that video. Now, some people have different ideas about what we're seeing. So a lot of people, I would say most of the comments, believe that it is some sort of a non-human intelligent being. And a lot of people have commented that it looks very similar to some of those Peru mummies. If you look at the remains of those Peru mummies and you put these side by side, they have elongated heads, those mummies do, some of them, as well as what appears to, this creature here appears to have one of these elongated heads as well, when you check that video out. So that should be a really good show when we do launch that new podcast. That first episode should be really interesting. So I will let everyone know when that happens. I will announce it on this podcast and also provide a post, I guess, on YouTube. I'll be able to put a post about it there as well. So I just want to point that out. Now, some people are saying that to them it looks like a xenomorph, like from the movie Alien. I did say that yesterday when I was talking about this video, and I received a comment from someone named CJK on Spotify. This person believes it could be a night heron, which is a stocky bird about 2 feet high or so, and that could also explain the sound that Jessica's aunt heard right before the ring camera was activated. As I stated yesterday, about 15 minutes before the ring camera was activated, her aunt, who lives right next door to where Jessica Ortiz lives, heard 3 loud thumps on the roof. And after the second thump, she heard scratching sounds. So is it a bird maybe? I don't know. I don't think it is, but that's what CJK suggests. I don't know. Again, to me, it looks like it could be an NHI. I mean, are they, again, and here's the thing. We know that they're here. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are still having trouble accepting the reality that we're not alone, but I'm going to tell you right here and now, there's something here. I encountered one of these things a long time ago, as there's millions of people who encountered these creatures or seen them. There's something among us. That's just the way it is. And I'm sorry for those out there who don't want to accept this, but this could be an extraterrestrial / non-human intelligent being. I just want to point that out. But yeah, there's going to be more to talk about with that later on. So I just wanted to provide that update. So there's no way that this was faked. It has been authenticated. Whatever is in that video, the thing that we see moving in that video was really there. Some people said that maybe it's something in a costume, a person in a costume. I don't know if I buy that one. I guess, again, we're going to have to look at this more closely and see what we could come up with. I'm not sure if we'll ever be able to say one way or the other what it is, but I just think it's interesting that that we have something like this. I mean, what's the explanation for it then? Okay, now something else I want to talk about. What are these? I brought up that L.A. object. I was recently talking about this weird object that was floating around a neighborhood in Los Angeles recently, and this is not the first time something like this has been seen. I mean, when you look at the so-called jellyfish UFO that Arrow now says is a cluster of balloons. I mean, that thing looks similar to that thing in Los Angeles, right? But I'm not sure if they're the same. I'm not sure. I mean, when you look at this, all right, I'm going to pull up on the screen right now this alleged jellyfish UFO that was filmed in October 2017 with an infrared sensor on board a force protection aerostat near Al Taqaddum Air Base in Iraq, and there was 17 minutes of footage that was captured of this object or something that people say it looks like a jellyfish just moving in a straight line across the terrain. And here's what Arrow said about it. It says, Arrow assesses that the object was a cluster of partially and fully inflated balloons. The object's appearance is consistent with other recorded observations featuring balloon clusters. Arrow employed full motion video analysis and pixel examination techniques to inform its assessment. Arrow assesses that the object did not demonstrate anomalous performance characteristics. Arrow used geolocational data from the aerostat to assess the object's speed and direction of travel. Now, this object that we're seeing on the screen that I'm showing right now, this jellyfish video. Now, the people who are listening, I'm sure you've seen this before. To me, this could be a cluster of balloons, like Arrow says. I mean, it could be. I mean, we're never really going to probably know one way or the other, but I'm not sure. Like, you can't say that with 100% certainty. But what we saw in that video from Los Angeles recently, this thing was shape-shifting. This was changing its shape. It was changing its color. I mean, it looked like it got bright at one point. I mean, obviously what we're talking about here, there was a guy sitting on his porch after midnight one night in this Los Angeles neighborhood, and all of a sudden he sees this strange object just moving, actually at pedestrian level on the pavement near his house. So he started filming it with his cell phone, and when he started filming it, the thing started rising up across the street, and then it went across the street and was hovering near the second floor windows of this other house, and then from there it changed direction again and moved back to the area where it seemingly came from, and then from there it changed directions again and just floated up toward a tree, and then disappeared. The guy lost sight of it. And it looked like at the end of that video, when we talked about this before, it just looks like it stayed in that tree area. It was using the tree for cover, and it just stayed there. So to me, that thing could be different than what we're seeing with this jellyfish UFO that you could find here on Arrow's website. I'll leave a link for all these things so you can check them out for yourself as well. But and then here's another thing. One of my subscribers, Otis, he sent me a link to. He reminded me of another incident that was very similar that happened in Mexico back in 2022. Actually, February 23rd, 2022 to be exact, where there was some security cameras. I guess it was on an industrial site or on a warehouse. It looked like it was some sort of a business site near a residential neighborhood. And there were like dogs, looks like stray dogs just laying around. There were 4 dogs actually. And this weird object just comes floating out of nowhere. And all these dogs started barking at it. And I don't know what the hell that was, but it looks very similar to the object that we saw in Los Angeles. And I just want to point something else out. Somebody else, after I did post the Los Angeles video, somebody else had pointed out that that object, they saw a similar object had recently, and nobody believed them. Right now I have on the screen here showing this weird object that these dogs were barking at in Mexico. Actually, it was in San Vicente, Chicoloapan, Mexico, a locality in the state of Mexico. And that happened again on February 23rd, 2022. And this object here, to me, is very similar to this object that recently appeared in a neighborhood in Los Angeles. What is this thing? I mean, this is a very strange object that looks like It looks like this might be shape-shifting in a similar fashion. Actually, I'm gonna show you a close-up of this thing. There's a close-up of this thing. I mean, what in heaven's name is this thing? I mean, and again, I don't know if this is the same exact thing that we see in Los Angeles, but now some people will say it's just a balloon or something, but I don't think this is a balloon. Just like the thing in Los Angeles, it seems like these things were under some sort of control, intelligent control. I mean, it seemed like when the dogs started barking at it, it changed course, it changed direction. Just like when that thing showed up in Los Angeles and the guy started filming with a cell phone, it looked like it decided to hang a right and move across the street away from him and then eventually disappear among the trees. But I mean, this thing here from Mexico in 2022. Now, a lot of you out there probably have already seen this, but again, look at this thing. And I also want to point out that there was a really good analysis of that Mexico object that was done by a YouTuber named Ledrak. And I'll leave a link for that as well, so you can check that out when you get a chance. Very interesting, and actually, it was in Spanish. That presentation, that analysis. But if you don't speak Spanish, I do not speak Spanish, but I was able to watch his analysis with the. You just have to go into the subtitles there and put it on. Make sure it's on English, and it will automatically generate a translation for you. So you could. It was very good analysis, I thought, and that was from 3 years ago. So you have to. I guess the question I have here is, what are these mysterious whatchamacallits floating around the skies? What are they? What's the purpose? Now, the guy who filmed the object in Los Angeles with a cell phone, with the naked eye, to him, it looked like this thing was metallic. That's what it looked like to him. It was metallic. Now, from the video, it's hard to when we look at that video, it's hard to say if it's metallic or not. Now, I remember when I was first talking about this, there were a lot of people who were commenting saying, how come you didn't run up and try to grab it? Well, again, like I pointed out, I don't see I wouldn't take that kind of a chance with something like this. I mean, how do you know what would happen? What might happen to you if you try to get too close to it? I mean, who knows maybe it would be dangerous to get too close to it. Nobody knows what these things are. What are they? I mean, is it alien technology spying on us? Is it have anything to do with NHI at all? I don't know. Is it some sort of a government contraption? Is it some sort of a souped up drone? I mean, nobody seems to know what these things are, and they look like they change shape as they're moving around. I mean, if you just saw a little segment of one of these videos with these objects in it, you would think to yourself, well, maybe that's just a bag floating in the wind. But these videos are pretty long. I mean, the video from Los Angeles lasted long enough to inform you that this thing looks like it's under intelligent control. And it looks, not only that, it looks like it's shape-shifting. And well, people say, well, maybe it was just blowing in the wind. Well, the Los Angeles video, when you watch that, it doesn't seem like there was any wind going. You don't see the trees blowing around up. There's trees in the background. You don't see them blowing around. So I just wonder. I'm wondering what's going on here. There's just so many weird things that are happening. We're just starting to maybe it's just the technology that we have. We're finally able to see some of these things that have been around us the whole time. We just never realized it. Perhaps people could have saw something like this, say 20 years ago, before everyone had a cell phone with a high definition camera on it, right? If you saw something like this, what would you say? I mean, you'd say you saw a UFO. I mean, maybe this is, in the past, somebody would just report this as just a regular old run-of-the-mill UFO. I mean, what else could you say about it? Or maybe most people would probably say nothing because they would think to themselves, nobody's going to believe me. But now we're starting to capture these things on security cameras, on cell phones. I mean, we're able to see these weird things that are among us. I mean, not just, I know we're talking in the previous show about multiple different captures of apparent NHI or something, right? There was the Compton alien. That's very interesting. I mean, if it wasn't for these high definition ring cameras we have, we wouldn't have that. We wouldn't be able to see this. We wouldn't be able to talk about it and debate it. What is this? What are we seeing here? Is it a bird like one of the subscribers suggested? Is it someone wearing a costume? Well, obviously it can't be a hoax now. The video has been authenticated. So what is it? To me, it looks like an NHI. It looks like something that's a non-human. That's what it looks like to me. And when it comes to these mysterious floating whatchamacallits, what are they? Are they aliens floating around, perhaps? Maybe. Is it some sort of a secret government device that's used for spying on people? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I think it would be nice if some of us could figure out a way to grab one of these things, to capture it somehow. I don't know how. I don't know if it would be a good idea to get too close to one of these things. And if you did get too close and you touched it, what would happen? I don't know. Maybe the thing wouldn't allow you to get too close to it. But we have to. I'd like to figure out a way to get one of these things so we could examine it and see what it is, and maybe we could end the mystery. Maybe it is something mundane, and we could say, oh, that's all it was the whole time. I don't think so, but maybe. What could it be? If it is something mundane, what would that mundane thing be? I don't think, to me, again, the object in Mexico that was filmed in 2022 and the more recent object that was just filmed in Los Angeles that are very similar in the way they seem to be shape-shifting. You would think, oh, it must be something just floating in the wind, trash floating in the wind. I don't think that's what this is. This is something else. Again, in that Mexico video, you see 4 dogs are looking at this thing and barking at it. They don't know. They're wondering what the hell it is. I don't think dogs would be barking at a bag just blowing in the wind. No. That's I don't believe that, right? And I don't think that guy in Los Angeles recently who filmed that object floating down the street and then floating across the street and then floating up toward the trees, I don't think he would have been filming that if it was a bag. Again, to his naked eye, he thought it was metallic. Now, when we look at it, it looks like it's moving around, changing shapes, and I don't know. I'd like to know that guy's perspective. I never got a chance to talk to this guy. I did try to reach out to him. I never got any return message. I'd like to know, does the thing that we see in the video, is that what you remember seeing with your eyeballs? That's another question. I like to know the answer to that. Did it seem different to the naked eye than it does on the video that you have? Like, does it seem drastically different? Because on the video, the thing is changing shape. And he said to him it looked metallic. But I don't know. I just want to. I think we need to. People out there, I just want to say this: if you come across something like this, you see something like this, yes, of course, try to film it. But if there's any way, throw a rock at it, do something, try to knock it down. Let's try to get one of these things. I'd like to get one of these things and see what it is. Let's figure out what's going on. Maybe if you threw something at it, right? Maybe nothing would happen. I don't know. I'm not telling anybody to do anything other than something like that. You don't want to get anyone hurt, so I wouldn't use any weapons or anything like that. I'm just trying to figure out some way that we could find out what these things are, these whatchamacallits. I don't even know if I would want to call these things, like the Los Angeles object and this Mexico object. I don't think I would want to call them. I don't think I want to say that they're just like the jellyfish that we see in that government video. I think that could be something different. That could be a cluster of balloons. I don't know. I'm not sure. But these other things, they're changing shape. That the thing in the arrow video is not changing shape. So I'd like to get to the bottom of this. I like to know what's going on with these weird whatchamacallits. Now, these things aren't flying saucers. There's something else. They're just these misshapen. You can't even really describe what you're looking at. Sometimes it does look, in the Los Angeles video, for instance, there were instances where it does look like a balloon, and then there were instances where it looks like, I don't know what. It's just changing its shape. It's not a balloon. I don't think it is. Unless it's some sort of a drone that has something on it. That's the extent of my thinking on it. So I don't know. What do we do? How do we get one of these things? Hey, right now we're looking in Colombia. They have the Buga sphere. They have people studying that. Maybe we can get one of these things, whatever they are. Whatever these things are, these weird misshapen objects that people are now catching on security cameras and on cell phone video. These are something different. I don't know what they are. They seem to be completely divorced from the orb kind of object. This is something else. Maybe it's like, for all we know, it could be a little alien just using some sort of a flying device. Maybe that's what it is. When you look closely at the Los Angeles video, there are times where this thing does look like it might be an alien. There are moments when you look at that closely that it could be some sort of a creature. Okay, now moving on, I have a new candidate for the cornfield of pure idiocy, I'm afraid to say. And this person's name is Smark1180. This is the second time. This guy's provided a couple of comments on the channel recently, and this is the second time he's done so. And I did not appreciate this comment. And we're going to go through this comment and we're going to talk about what he's saying here. And but before we do, I just want to point something out. I want to tell a little story. Just last Friday night, we went to there's a drive-in here. It's a retro drive-in. They show classic movies. They're the only retro drive-in in the entire United States that shows movies on 35 millimeter film. It's really a lot of fun to go to this place. And last Friday night they had two different Batman movies playing. They had the 1966 Batman with Adam West in it, and a bunch of different villains were in it: the Joker, the Riddler, Catwoman, and the Penguin. Really, it was actually a very campy, very funny movie. And then the second movie was the 1989 Batman, the one with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. And what was really neat about this event was the fact that they actually had the actual car there, the 1989 Batmobile. The people who owned that car actually drove it all the way from California all the way to eastern Pennsylvania, and they had it on display in front of the screen. You could go up, you could take pictures with it, take pictures of it. You could get a picture of yourself standing by it. It was really fun. But I remember when in 1989 when that movie came out, Batman. I loved that movie. I went to see it several times. I was very a nostalgic night last Friday to see that again in the drive-in like that, because I remember I saw it multiple times in the movies back in 1989 when I was 20 years old. And I also saw it in a drive-in a couple times back then. I was just, a lot of people my age back then, we were obsessed with that movie. But I was thinking during that movie, people, like Batman becomes Batman because some criminals killed his parents, and in that movie you find out that it was actually the guy who ends up becoming the Joker, Jack Nicholson, who actually killed his parents when he was a kid. And then of course Batman got into a fight with the criminal Jack Napier, who was played by Jack Nicholson, and he gets his face scarred, and during this fight, because he tries to shoot Batman, and the bullet ricochets and hits him in the face, and then he falls into a vat of chemicals, and that changes his face white, and he has this, then he has a botched surgery, and he comes out, and he looks like the Joker in a playing card, in a deck of playing cards that you see. And he went crazy, even crazier than he already was. And so there's things that make people become who they are. That's what I was thinking about after I was driving home that night. There are things that cause people to become who they are. And one of the reasons I'm the person I am right now is because there are a lot of people, when I had my experience when I was a kid, and then later on in 1994, I saw a UFO up close. And, I was really interested in documentaries about UFOs, and I would watch all these things, and one of the reasons I talk the way I do is because back then when I started watching these documentaries, I would see some of these terrible people, these debunkers that would just ridicule anyone who thinks that there's some sort of a presence here. People like Philip Klass, like he would be on some of these shows and documentaries, news shows like Larry King. People like Smug Joe Nickel. I don't know. I know some of you out there know who I'm talking about, who would say there's no proof. And in my head, I'm thinking, I know that there's something here because I had these experiences, right? And you see these other people getting interviewed in some of these shows. They were abducted by aliens, and these other people would basically be almost laughing at them. another guy, James McGaha. These people were smug jerks. They acted like sanctimonious jackasses, right? I couldn't stand them, and I couldn't wait for the day to arrive, right? I just could never wait for the day to arrive when we had evidence and we could just shove it in their face. And the day finally did arrive. I started this podcast, I guess over 4 years ago now, talking about aliens all the time. I thought it was time, and for the first couple of years there, and even sometimes more recently, I talked about how, I know that the people who say that there's a presence here are correct, right? I know that for a fact, right? I know because I had my own experience when I was a kid. There's no doubt in my mind about this. And so, I knew the day would come, right, where those people are going to be wrong, right? I knew that they're going to be shown to be wrong, and they have been. They have been shown to be wrong, and yet they still so smug and they just concede it. They still can't give into it. They don't want to. They don't want to accept the reality. But that's besides the point. I always knew that someday they're going to be proven wrong, and here we finally are. And that's why I love giving it to these people sometimes. That's why I love, throwing shade on like people like Mick West, because they're jerks. They're jerks. They ridicule people. They try to, that's basically that's all they got for the most part. I mean, most of these debunkers, right? They never provide any sort of evidence to back up what they're saying, despite all of the evidence that people who are UFO researchers or experiencers have on their side. They say, this is, here, look at, there's landing marks. Oh, I got marks on my body. There was an object. Some people have alien implants taken out of them, but yet these people don't want to accept it. Now we have this Vegas alien evidence, and as far as I'm concerned, this proves that there's something here. There's no question in my mind. There's just too many elements to that case, as I talk about all the time on here, and but yet they still don't want to accept it. But this is guy here. This comment from this guy. I'm gonna tell you. This really pissed me off. I gotta say. Here's what he says. Love the title, Extraterrestrial Reality. Bold choice, considering there's no scientific evidence that extraterrestrials have ever visited Earth, and overwhelming physical constraints make it virtually impossible. But hey, why let reality get in the way of a good story? Okay, let's just stop there and let's talk about how stupid this guy is. Okay, let's talk about how stupid that comment is. Again, I talk about this all the time. There's no... Right now, our scientists, right, who have evolved to a certain level, right, they don't believe there's any way that we could travel great distances through space to get to other planets. A lot of them don't, right? They just don't see it, right? They can't figure it out. You know why? Because guess what? They're too dumb yet. They're too dumb yet. How do you know what we're going to figure out in 1,000 years from now? This guy has like zero imagination, right? Zero imagination. He's reaching for straws. Basically, what it boils down to, right, is character assassination. They try to ridicule you. They have nothing to offer other than, oh, there's no way we can get there from here, right? How do you know what something's that's 20,000, 100,000, a million years more advanced than we are? How do you know that they haven't figured something out? But these stupid idiots never figure this out. They never think that. They can't think it through because they're too dumb, right? Anyway, and he goes on to say, but finally, definitive proof of extraterrestrial reality, blurry blobs, ring camera shadows, and AI-enhanced pareidolia? Who needs peer review or forensic analysis when we have names like UB, the undeniable backbreaker, and Cognitive? Honestly, it's shocking the Nobel Committee hasn't called yet. Is this video meant to be a parody? See, I was really thrilled when I saw that part of his comment, though, because I know that's good, because I'm getting under his skin. I'm getting under their skin. That's the whole point. I want them to feel the same way that they made people like us feel back in the day. They have no standing anymore. These people mean nothing. They're stupid. They're dumb. This guy's dumb. I don't want him to ever comment on my channel again, so that's why he's getting sent to the cornfield of pure idiocy, because the guy's an idiot, obviously, right? Yeah, and I did that on purpose. I gave those names on purpose, like Cognitive Dissonance, UB, the undeniable backbreaker, because I want to celebrate. I want to push it in their faces. I want them to be pissed off. That's what I want. I want them to feel that way. I'm so glad it's working. And now the other thing, he's talking about, he loves the choice of the title of my channel. Obviously, this guy hasn't watched my show. I even joke around on here sometimes. I say, hey, maybe if it's proven someday that they're not coming from other planets, well, I'll have to change the name to, I don't know, ultra-dimensional ultra-terrestrial reality or something like that, or interdimensional reality, whatever the case. I'm open to it. I don't care if I'm wrong. Here's the bottom line is this: there's something here where I don't know where they're coming from. I think that they're coming from other planets. If I'm proven wrong in the future, I don't care if I have to change the name of my podcast, right? I believe that they are coming from other planets because I don't think they were here the whole time. I think they came from somewhere else because maybe their planet was dying out and they needed to come someplace else and find a new place to live. Maybe that's what it's all about. I really don't know, right? But the bottom line is this: these people have no imagination. They have nothing to offer. There's no analysis. There's no real analysis ever. And then he talks about peer review or forensic analysis. This guy has no idea. We had a forensic analysis done on the Vegas case. It's a done deal. This guy doesn't even know this. He's a stupid idiot, and he needs to go. He needs to go to the cornfield of pure idiocy. That's where he belongs. So, with that said, say goodbye to Smark 1180. Smark 1180, you know what? You're really dumb, and I banish you forever to the cornfield of pure idiocy because you know what? You're a total absolute idiot. Goodbye. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to say thank you all for joining me today. Until next time.